Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story of what if Naruto mastered Kurama's chakra earlier. What if Naruto gained control over Kyuubi chakra? During the month of training for the finals of the Chunin exams, what if Jiraiya taught more than summoning? Watch as Naruto takes the whole world by storm with near unstoppable power and unmatched potential, but when the chips are down, it's all or nothing against hidden threats and godlike enemies. Will he survive? Before we start, thank you for all the support, it really means a lot to me. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, and check the description for the creator of this great fanfic. And also, as I said, I will be changing the story title to What If Naruto Power of the Tailed Beast, so don't forget that. Let's continue. Chapter 23. Bonds. What happens happens. Feel free to flame, but this chapter is the pivot point of the whole story, and it will not change. Summoning Jutsu. 3 puffs of smoke enveloped the area around the defense building, giving the first wave of Sky Ninja pause. The leaf was supposed to be weak, their leader had said so. How could they be staging a counter-attack when the first wave had only just got there? Gameiken. Water lightning barrage. Bunta. Give me some oil. Baku. Suck them in. The unfortunate Sky Ninja that made up the first wave were bombarded with jutsu. Some fell victim to Naruto's lightning-filled water bullets, frying them instantly. Others were burned alive by Jiraiya's flamethrower. The remaining casualties were caused by the terrifying combination that Danzo provided, with his summon, the mighty Baku, the half-elephant, half-lion that was said to be capable of eating dreams. The Baku would suck the ninja toward Danzo, who was unleashing vacuum spheres one after another into the helpless Sky Ninja. Just as the remains of the first wave regrouped, the second wave arrived, escorting odd-looking 2-man flying machines. Sir, the leaf has already begun a counter-attack. The first wave is down to only 6 ninja, stated one of the ninja on the 2-man flyers into his communications device. Proceed to the second phase, was all he heard over the radio. Naruto watched as one of the 2-person flyers seemingly opened up, a ball of lightning forming under the 2 ninja. Naruto's eyes widened as he realized that they were targeting the academy. Oh hell no. In an instant, Naruto activated the chakra cloak, getting ready to take out the flyer. Ken, you do what you need to protect the village, I'll be right back. Naruto drew the Kubikiribocho off of his back and disappeared, reappearing on the roof of the academy just as the ball of lightning discharged. Naruto began spinning the Kubikiribocho like a fan, pumping wind chakra into the cold metal of the blade. The lightning impacted the spinning sword, only to deflect back into the sky, safely away from the village. Alright, assholes. Naruto launched the blade straight up, spearing the bottom of the 2-man flyer, killing one of the pilots. Naruto kept his arm raised and a chakra chain exploded out of his sleeve, attaching to the handle of his sword, before Naruto retracted the chain, pulling him up to the flyer. Impossible. Naruto grabbed the handle of his sword, infused wind chakra into it and cut the flyer in half, causing the remaining ninja to fall out. Naruto once again threw the sword, impaling a nearby Sky Ninja, using the chakra chain to swing around and take the next ninja in his sights out as well before swinging back onto Gameiken's head, retracting the blade. Gameiken, can you get me to the wall without crushing any buildings? Naruto asked as he pointed to the south walls, where the third wave of Sky Ninja were still approaching and the second laser cannon flyer was preparing an attack. Behind Naruto, Danzo was picking Sky Ninja off like flies with his vacuum techniques, while Jiraiya was combining attacks with Gamma Bunta, dropping Sky Ninja left and right. No problem, just hold on. Gameiken answered before taking a mighty leap, landing just outside the walls. Do you have enough chakra for a wide area attack? Naruto asked as he stood. More than enough. What would you like? Croaked Gameiken as he watched the Sky Ninja that were approaching begin targeting him. Toad God Dragon. Gameiken nodded. Give me the water. 2 shadow clones appeared on either side of Naruto, each starting hand seals. Twin Water Dragon Bullet. Grand Vacuum Dragon. Toad Bolt Jutsu. The Twin Water Dragon swirled into the Grand Vacuum Dragon, creating a swirling, speeding water dragon that, when combined with Gameiken's Toad Bolt Jutsu, created a surging, twisting violent lightning-fueled water dragon, heading straight towards the grouping of Sky Ninja too fast for any of them to avoid, killing them all instantly. Incoming, 3 to your right. Gameiken alerted, pulling the Sasumata off of his back and swatting a Sky Ninja. Naruto was about to react when he saw the 2 remaining Sky Ninja drop out of the sky, apparently from lack of chakra. Naruto turned to the wall to see Hana and Tayuya assembled, Shino standing onto the guard tower to the right of them. He looked up to see the few remaining sky ninja retreating, heading back to where they came from. You can dispel now, Ken, thank you for your help. Gameiken nodded and shook his head, sending Naruto toward the wall, where he landed safely next to Hana, who began checking him for any injuries. Gameiken dispersed when he saw Naruto was safe. Taicho, incredible as always. Shino said as he jumped down from the guard tower, his insects returning from the two sky ninja that he had taken down. Hey, Shino, thanks for the save. What's the damage in the village? Naruto asked as he rolled his shoulders. Only 2 of the bombs landed on the ground. The academy has some minor damage, no one injured. The other building hit was the hospital, but none died, though Choji was injured saving a civilian. Sakura and Lady Tsunade are healing him now. Shino answered. 2 other bombs detonated in the air, there was a civilian hit by shrapnel, but Hinata is healing him, so as 3 followed you to the wall. What are our orders? Questioned Hana. I will be giving them in a moment. Danzo said as he landed next to the members of Squad 1, a visible sheen of sweat on his exposed face. As I told Uzumaki before, the Sky Ninja are from an ancient civilization that split up to occupy the Land of Snow, a Megakure, and of course, the Land of Sky. It is believed that the civilization split during a civil war during the time of the warring clans. Each group is greatly advanced in technology, a Megakure with its steel and other weapons, the Land of Snow with its armor and train system, and the Land of Sky perfected the ability to fight at long range, using launchers, warships and as you saw, and devices that allowed flying. It was for that reason that I ordered them to be wiped out after they aided Iwa and Kiri to destroy Uzushiogakure. The Sandame said as he too landed with the group, dressed in full battle attire. They were located on a small island between the Land of Fire and Demon Country. Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Orochimaru lead the attack force that wiped out their ninja, but we were unable to find any of their laboratories. We believed them still active, and as we all saw today, we were right. So they came to return the favor. Naruto said as he stepped away from Hana, who still wasn't used to his growth and let go easily. We need to go finish the job. With an attack force like that, they could wipe out whole nations. There was almost as much chakra in that two-man thing as what goes into Mini Amari. That was their goal 25 years ago. Stated Danzo. I will have the information you need in 20 minutes. I want your team in pursuit the second you get your information. We will assemble a backup squad in the meantime. 1 hour later, Southern Forest of Fire Country, Shino. When we find their camp, you lead Choji, Tayuya, and Hana and try to take out their carriers. Your reinforcements will be here by the time you are ready to strike. Naruto ordered as he jumped from branch to branch, his team following behind him. Hinata and I will be going to the ruins that Danzo has plotted on this map. Intel states that there is a temple that lies just past a farming village that was their command post. If we find no enemy in their old fort, we will circle around and assist your end of the mission. Hi, Taicho. Hopefully you do not find any conflict. It would be better if we act swiftly and eliminate this threat. Shino said as he accepted the scroll that Naruto was handing him. As we discussed, the old weak points on their equipment were the men and women operating it. Naruto continued as they reached the edge of the forested area. The cove that Shikamaru had figured was the resting place of the fleet was up ahead. Be discreet, it's better if they don't know you're there. Good luck Shino, Kakashi and the others will be here soon, begin when you are all ready. I will see you all in a bit. Shino nodded and led his team toward the rocky cove that saw the black smoke coming out of. Naruto turned to Hinata and looked her straight in the eyes. I need to talk to you when we get back to the village. Hinata saw the look in his eyes and nodded. She had waited a year, one more mission couldn't hurt. Naruto turned and began their journey towards the old ruins that Danzo had pointed out. He idly wondered if Danzo was hiding anything, but pushed it to the back of his mind. That question wouldn't do him any good now. After about 10 minutes of running, they reached the village that laid before the ruins, only to see the center of the village on fire, deep black smoke billowing from the fire. Hinata activated her Byakugan, scanning the village. There isn't anyone here, no bodies either. Naruto began walking into the village, not being able to sense anyone. Hinata, can you see the temple from here? No. There is a strange cloud of grayish-black chakra at the edge of my vision. Stated Hinata, whose eyes then went wide. There's a person there, it looks like they're hurt. Naruto looked around again, before nodding and taking off towards the ruins of the temple. After about 2 minutes they came across an old battleground, weapons and pieces of technology littering the landscape, which was slowly being enveloped in a dark mist, emanating from the small figure of a teenage girl, who was on her knees, slumped over. Dark chakra. So tainted. Be on guard, that person is not normal. Naruto nodded, silently conferring with Kurama. Suddenly, the girl stood up, her red hair and brown jacket standing out from her tan skin. All that you see here, all that is wrong with this field, is the leaf's fault. Stated the girl, a wicked grin on her face, her eyes glowing red. All this destruction, caused by the leaf. And I love it. Okay, that's creepy. Naruto said, Hinata silently agreeing with him. Oh my, a Hyuga, and with a powerful set of cursed eyes. You have almost as much darkness as the blonde. Though the blonde has something special in him. Something that poses a threat to me. The girl said, chakra forming around her until she was hidden inside a large looping coil of dark chakra. Show me the Kyuubi. Show me how strong you are. Who are you? How do you know what I have inside me? Naruto demanded, his hand on the hilt of his sword while the other was ushering Hinata back. I am the Zero Tails. When conflict rages in the world, when human hearts are overtaken by darkness, I am born anew. Stated the girl behind the chakra. Suddenly her eyes turned red, and the chakra solidified around the girl, completely enveloping her. I feed on the darkness in men's hearts, I grow stronger the more darkness man contains. I am the unstoppable Zero Tails, now fight me. Show me your darkness. Imposter. He is no tailed beast, he is barely a demon. Naruto, rip him to shreds. With pleasure. Shouted Naruto as he was enveloped in the Kyuubi cloak, his suit turning gold as his hair spiked up, a deep yellow chakra emanating from him. A golden chakra chain left his sleeve and attached to the handle on the Kubikiribocho. Another chain came out of his left sleeve, which he sent towards the Zero Tails at incredible speed, piercing the chakra construct and wrapping around the tube-like body. Hinata, stay back for now. I might need your help later, so stay on guard. Not waiting for a reply, Naruto yanked on the chain holding the Zero Tails, forcing it towards him as he leapt high into the air, drawing his blade and overloading it with wind chakra. He sliced down, cutting the Zero Tails deeply down the middle, only for the creature to smile with both sides of its mouth and reform back together, also forcing the chakra chain out of its body. Naruto grit his teeth, this was going to be tougher than he thought. He let the chain holding the beast dissolve, and began hand signs with his free hand, ending in the Tora signal. The blade was covered in wind chakra, then coated in fire chakra, causing the blade to become coated in raging blue fire. Naruto set forward again, outmaneuvering the beast as it cut limb after limb off of it, only for them to grow back as quickly as they were cut off. Going for broke, he began spinning, his blade held outward as he began move ring towards the beast, his blade continuously cutting as he plowed into the body of the beast, cutting the coils of chakra wrapped around the girl until he had a clear shot. Gogyo Fuin. He slammed his hand into the girl's gut, sending her careening back. Instantly, the Zero Tails detached from her and headed straight for Hinata. Naruto turned to intersect the chakra construct, but saw Hinata prepare a jutsu. Brutal fist style. 256 hand massacre. Hinata met the creature head-on, lashing out with the first hit, blowing a huge hole through the mask-like face of the beast, the next tore off an arm, then another through the body of the beast. Naruto watched in awe as Hinata systematically destroyed the body of the beast, one hit after another in a brilliant and beautiful dance of absolute brutally efficient power and grace. As the beast started to pull away, Hinata would grab with one hand and deliver a blow with the other, literally feeding more of the beast into the buzzsaw that was the Hyuga heiress. As she landed the last hit in her combo, she began spinning. Brutal fist, domination field. Chakra exploded from the Hyuga as she spun, tearing and ripping into the beast that had tried to attack her. By the time she began to slow down her spin, the Zero Tails dispersed, the dark haze that had surrounded the area lifting. Naruto caught Hinata as she came out of her spin, preventing her from falling to the ground as her legs gave out. Hinata. Are you okay? You barely have any chakra left. Did I do well, Naruto-kun? Questioned Hinata before Naruto forced a hand over her mouth. Shish, give me a second, I'm going to restore some of your chakra. Naruto said as he closed his eyes. Seconds later, Hinata felt her chakra pool being replenished, almost by half. Naruto took his hand off her mouth, cutting her off. I need you to take that girl and return to the farming village we just passed. You don't have enough chakra to keep fighting at a high enough level, and I don't want anything happening to you. No, I won't leave you. Hinata cried defiantly, her posture on leaning in towards Naruto. As your commanding officer, I'm ordering you to. Stated Naruto seriously, though Hinata could see the care and fear in his eyes. Before I go, I have to tell you that I love. Hinata was cut off by a deep kiss that shocked her. For the second time he had caught her off guard, but this time she returned the kiss, looping her arms around his neck and pulling him in deeper. After a few brilliant moments, their lips parted, and both caught their breath. I know, now please, take her and go back to the town. I can't lose you. Naruto said as he continued to hold her, still unable to believe that he this shy and meek Hyuga was so strong. She was perfect for him, and they both knew it. Hinata looked Naruto in the eyes and nodded. Just come back to me in one piece. Just promise me that. I promise. Stated Naruto, his eyes unwavering as he stared into Hinata's. Now go, get to safety. Hinata nodded and disappeared, taking the girl with her. Naruto's eyes slightly widened. That's as fast as me in my base form. Southern Fire Country, Yuya and Choji were preparing to set the diversion when a loud explosion was heard throughout the land. Moment later, they watched as several flying ninja were sent out to investigate. The ships all began turning, now pointing halfway between Konoha and the site of the explosion. Never mind. You two stay close, Hana, form a perimeter. I will use this as the distraction. Stated Shino, who creeped into the water and disappeared from view. You think Shithead is responsible for that explosion? Yuya asked, her body relaxing slightly as she fell back with the others. Would you really be surprised? Hana asked as she and Choji followed Yuya. He always does stuff like that. I'd honestly be more surprised if it wasn't Taicho. 9 minutes earlier, Southern Fire Country, Ruins. Naruto had been walking through the ruins of the temple for about 5 minutes, dispatching Sky Ninja left and right on his way to the biggest source of chakra he could feel. He had finally reached the chakra when he felt the ruins begin to shift. I see. So the leaf sent a single ninja. Stated a long-haired blonde man with yellow eyes, blue pants with a doctor's tunic were partly covered by a sleeveless red robe. He was sitting on a throne in the middle of the room. How pitiful. I was beginning to doubt my men. I just got a report that 3 ninja defeated my surprise attack force. But if you were in the village, then maybe they weren't lying. Especially with your pedigree. Naruto. Who are you? Naruto asked evenly, his training with Danzo kicking in. Now wouldn't be a good time to lose his composure. Oh. Not what this place is. Not how I know your name. How about what I'm going to do to your village when I'm done killing you? Questioned the man, his confident smirk annoying Naruto when he could tell that the man's chakra reserves were smaller than most Chunin. You're pretty sure of yourself, old man. Besides, I know what this place is already. Naruto said, his hand reaching for the hilt of his sword. It's your grave. Big words from one so young. I will answer your question. My name is Shino. I am the one who will lead the land of Sky to the world power we deserve to be. Stated Shino as he stood from the throne he had been sitting on, moving forward to stand at the center of the large brass circle that lay before the throne. Even with your immense power, boy, you will never match me. The power of the Zero Tails is limitless. Suddenly, Naruto felt the man's power level spike, and felt the dark chakra of the Zero Tails begin filtering into the room. Naruto watched as Shino's hair and beard began to turn black, his posture grew taller and his body bulked up. A power so dark and tainted that even humans react negatively to it. Only the strongest can harness this power. This is the power of dark chakra. Black chakra began pulsing around the man, tearing the fabric around his torso, leaving him shirtless as his muscles bulged and rippled. This is the ultimate body. With my body activation jutsu, powered by dark chakra, I gain the body of a king. Fitting. We stand in an unstoppable fortress known as Anchor Vanshan. Literally the fortress of the empire. And it's good to be king. Very nice. But, Naruto disappeared, kicking Shino in the side of the head before slicing his back open with his sword. I fail to see a king here. Shino attempted to kick Naruto, but he simply backpedaled. Shino returned to his feet, the cut on his back closing up. I'll show you, brat. The power of dark chakra can only be harnessed by those who allow despair to enter their hearts. It is that darkness that the Zero Tails grabs hold of, it's that darkness that I invited. I am the holder of dark chakra, I am Shino. Shino rushed Naruto, only for Naruto to disappear again, before punching Shino solidly in the gut, sending them both rocketing into the air. Before Shino even realized it, another Naruto was behind him, landing a punch on his back, crushing him between the two impacts. Shino dropped to the ground before his throne, the clones disappeared and Naruto retook his place by the entrance. Get it now, old man. You're no king. Shino stood again, anger and hatred building in his mind as he pulled more and more dark chakra from the Zero Tails. He continued to bulk up as he spoke. I am more than you could possibly imagine. With every injury I grow stronger, more powerful. I will rule this world. I am, only for him to be blown back through his throne, and pinned to the wall by a glowing golden arm. He looked up to see a golden Naruto, elbow deep in his chest. You are nothing, Shino. This power of yours doesn't touch the power I possess. Die happy, knowing you are the first of your country that will fall. Naruto removed his arm and watched Shino fall to the ground, blood pooling around him. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. An enormous wave of dark chakra pulsed from Shino, forcing Naruto to back away. Before the man stood up, the hole in his chest gone and his chakra levels rising even higher. You defeat me. Do you not understand? The more I am injured, the stronger I become. As long as the infinite power of the Zero Tails continues to pump dark chakra through my body, I will heal automatically. I grow stronger every second thanks to my body activation jutsu. Can you imagine? Entire armies fighting me, I could grow exponentially in strength without so much as a single push-up. And on top of it, the Zero Tails is powering this flying fortress. The greatest piece of technology the world has ever known, Anchorvantion. Kit, I grow bored of this insect. The Zero Tails cannot survive without a host or beacon, just kill him and save those people we sensed earlier. I don't have time for your delusions. Said Naruto as he threw his hand forward, chakra chains exploding through Shino's shoulders and hips, wrapping around his limbs and holding him in the air. As I said before, you will be the first to fall today. Once again, Shino laughed. Your intelligence is much lower than I anticipated. Do you not understand? There is nothing you can do to me that can kill me. I can heal from anything as long as the Zero Tails gives me dark chakra. Naruto didn't responded. He held up his right hand, summoning two clones. He formed a Rasengan in his hand. The clones began weaving in wind chakra. 4 long wind blades grew from the Rasengan, which was slowly growing in size. A bell-like screech filled the room. Shino couldn't believe his eyes. Such a powerful jutsu, such a move would destroy half of the throne room, maybe even a portion of the ship. You don't get it. You already told me how to defeat you. Without the Zero Tails chakra, you are powerless. This is my ultimate attack, Rasenshuriken. It attacks at the molecular level. It will destroy your chakra network, you won't be able to heal yourself. Suddenly, Naruto's arm moved forward, and the terrifying jutsu launched in Shino. Before he could even scream, Shino was cut in half, the jutsu expanded and the man was swallowed up by the attack. As the dust and debris died down, Naruto saw the destruction of the jutsu. Most of the throne room was simply trashed, a hole clear through the ceiling to the world outside from where the jutsu exploded, but on the ground, laid the body of Shino, his hair returning to gray as he died, his entire body covered in microscopic holes from the countless wind blades that the Rasenshuriken attacked with. He had been cut in half. Naruto moved from the throne room, on towards the people in the holding area that he had felt before. And to think, that guy thought he was a king. Shino resurfaced from the water. He trekked his way back to the group just in time to see the ships beginning to sink. As they continued to watch, they saw several large chunks of the ships begin to disappear, Shino's bugs taking the ships apart bite by bite. Our job is done. Let us rendezvous with Taicho. Bug boy. Stated to Yuya as she pointed out over the forest, where the sky temple floated. Shithead was heading for that, wasn't he? Temple Naruto returned to the throne room, searching the remains for whatever had allowed Shino to control the power of the Zero Tails. He placed the dead body out of his mind as he looked over the throne, only for a line to catch his eyes. Looking closer, he saw a line of tiny seals that led to a section of wall that seemed to be out of place. Naruto eyed the seals and began recognizing some of them, but one caught his eye in particular. The Trenton symbol, used in most control seals, like the curse seal he had helped Jiraiya seal on Anko, or the tongue seal taught to him by Danzo and Jiraiya. There was something odd about it though, it had been turned on its side. Just like in the caged bird seal. So that's how Shino had been able to control the dark chakra. The throne and tile work covered an enormous array of seals that all lead to the center of the throne room. Naruto stood at the center of the room, trying to decipher what was being used to house the Zero Tails massive chakra, only for a hidden panel on the other side of the room to open when Naruto channeled chakra into the seal array. He made his way over and found the compartment held a scroll that seemed to hold up against the description of the scroll Danzo asked him to retrieve if he found it. Behind the scroll was a lever. Naruto pulled it and the floor beneath him gave way. Luckily, Naruto caught himself with his chains before slowly descending into the tunnel. As Naruto reached the bottom of the tunnel, he found himself on the ledge of an unfathomably large seal room, a large tablet on the far wall with a giant floating cocoon secured before it. So the weakling died, did he? Questioned the cocoon, confirming that it was indeed the Zero Tails inside. Good, he made a terrible host. Now that Hyuga female, so ripe with emotions, and those marvelous tainted eyes. Naruto began studying the seals on the wall and found that it was the same simple seal over and over again, a chakra containment seal. So it was the tablet itself that allowed Shino to control the dark chakra. This room just housed the beast. It must have been dormant in these ruins since the construction of the temple. I am speaking to you, child. Feel privileged that you stand before me. Stated the Zero Tails again. Only those with darkness in their very soul can withstand my presence. So what? Everyone has darkness. It comes as no surprise to me that I have it in my soul. Said Naruto, his eyes still roaming for a way to remove the threat of the Zero Tails once and for all. Naruto looked down to the tablet, attempting to read the ruins that made it up. It is no use, child. Even I cannot decipher those texts. It would be wise for you to not try either. Stated the Zero Tails. Just know that as long as that remains in this world, I will always reform. Naruto jumped down, coasting down the wall before leaping out, landing near the middle of the room. Naruto began walking toward the Zero Tails. Tell me, what is it that you want? You're nothing but a being of darkness, but even you must know, that if the world is completely dark, then you would have no reason to exist. Very astute child. In truth, I want nothing more than to act as a sponge for the darkness of the world. Then, when the time is right, I will turn the world over to my true masters. Stated the Zero Tails. As long as there is darkness and despair in this world, I will reform. Not if I destroy you. Stated Naruto as he began charging chakra to his throat. Nine Tails Judgment. A beam of pure energy exploded from Naruto's mouth and consumed the Zero Tails, blowing a hole in the side of the room, straight out of the bottom half of the ship, showing daylight in the rapidly encroaching forest. A much better name than Burp. Those trees look kinda close. Oh shit. Muttered Naruto as he watched the forest getting closer. I don't have much time. Naruto was about to leave when he saw a black ball of chakra reforming atop the giant stone tablet. Just as the Zero Tails had claimed it would. I'm sorry, Haim. Looks like I won't come back safe. With Hinata had reached the town fairly easily, and had spent the time waiting by talking to the girl that had attacked them. Her name was Amaru, and she had lost track of her sensei, a man called Shino. They had been looking for the population when she had blacked out and woke up in next to Hinata. She had no recollection of being possessed. When they had heard the ground breaking, they both looked up to see a giant floating temple that Hinata recognized as the one Naruto had entered less than 10 minutes ago. It wasn't much later when an explosion blew the top out of the temple, and then the temple stopped moving and began descending towards the earth. Hinata took off with Amaru towards the temple hoping that Naruto would get out in time. They arrived in a field that was about a half-mile before the spot the temple was to land, only for Hinata to see that Naruto was not on the platform with the rest of the people that had been on board. They all appeared to be boarding some sort of flying craft to escape. Seconds turned into minutes and still no Naruto. The temple was getting closer and closer to the ground. Then, she saw the escape craft leave. Her heart sank. Naruto wasn't on board, he was still in the temple. A tower of yellow chakra came from the bottom of the temple, blowing a hole in the bottom of the lowermost chamber. Hinata knew that attack. It was Naruto's trump card. He only used it when he knew he had no other option. She almost dropped to her knees as she watched the temple impact the ground, collapsing in on itself. Amaru began running toward the escape craft, catching it just as it landed. Master Shino? Questioned Amaru, her eyes searching for him, then turning to the people in the craft. Where is Master Shino? He was taken by the ninja when he tried to fight. Stated one of the elder villagers. We have no clue where he is. The guy who saved us isn't here either. He went back into the temple to retrieve something. Stated another. Amaru looked back to the temple and debated running to it to look for him, but saw Hinata, on the ground sobbing. Then it hit her. Hinata had said that her teammate had gone to the temple to investigate it. He must have been the one to rescue all the people of the town. He hadn't made it out of the temple either. She made her way to her, holding her in an embrace. Amaru understood. If a trained ninja hadn't made it out, then Master Shino probably hadn't either. Both of them fell into despair. He said he'd come back. He promised. Muttered Hinata under her breath, her vision becoming blurry. I just got him, he said that he would be here. He promised he'd come back. The villagers figured it out soon after, and they all came to grips with the news on their own. Shino the miracle worker and the mysterious blonde had both lost their lives attempting to save them. Hinata collapsed into herself, trying to think of a way Naruto had survived, praying that the blonde had done the impossible again and survived that fall and the temple's collapse. It was about a minute later that she felt a hand on her chin, lifting her gaze onto a pair of deep blue eyes that made her heart skip a beat. Haim, why are you crying? Asked Naruto as he brought her to her feet. She looked him over. He was beat up pretty bad, his jacket was missing, and his pants were missing a leg, but thankfully he was only bruised up. Naruto-kun. Squawked Hinata as she latched onto him, crying into his shoulder. Naruto looked over her shoulder and saw the red-headed girl that the Zero Tails had possessed. She was looking at him with hope that made him uneasy. Did Master Shino survive too? Did he defeat the Sky Ninja? Naruto could feel that the only negative emotion the girl had was pain. She didn't know Shino was behind the attack. I'm sorry. Your master lost his life defending what he believed in. It wasn't a lie, but Naruto couldn't bring himself to tell the girl that her master had tried to take over the world. He watched as she just nodded and moved back to where the rest of the people were. He smiled lightly as he watched them comfort the girl. She would be fine. He turned his attention back to Hinata, only to be kissed by her. He had to admit, he could get used to it. Next day, Hokage Tower. Naruto sat across from the Hokage. He had just got done giving the report for himself and Hinata, as Shino had delivered his beforehand. Now Naruto was alone in the room with Danzo and Hiruzen, and they did not seem happy. As you know, the secondary object of this mission must remain secret. Stated Hiruzen. Hi, Hokage-sama. Stated Naruto as he handed a scroll over to Danzo. Then we can give you your next mission. You will be traveling to Kiri immediately with 2 others to help set up their Chunin exams. During the exams, you will be acting as a reserve sensei for any teams we send. During the month break, Kiri will be holding a special event. Stated Hiruzen, the pipe in his hand as he packed it with tobacco. The Jonin exams are far different than the Chunin exams. Only 1 team from each registered village may compete, and there are only 2 stages. Only 2 teams advance to the final and from there it is an attendance vote on the 4 ninja that fight the finals. Stated Danzo. The first exam starts the day after the second stage of the Chunin exam, and they last a week. The footage will be shown on closed-circuit television until the day of the Chunin exam finals. After the Chunin exams, the Jonin finals will start. Alright. Who's my team? As I said, feel free to flame. Naruhina is how the current pairing. Though, depending how the Kiri exams play out, another may come between them. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.